smoke, smoke. How many niggas won't smoke? How many think you won't smoke? Cause you'll fuck around and get choked, fuck around with the goat, bro. How many niggas won't smoke? How many niggas won't smoke? How many think you won't smoke?
Yeah. You already know who it is. It's your girl, Lady Ice World, bitch. Smoke, smoke. How many niggas won't smoke? I don't really think you won't smoke. Cause you'll fuck around and get choked. Fuck around with the goat, bro.
Smoke, right. So, who won't smoke? I was listening to it this morning, and I played it again, which is rare. Honestly, it's rare for me to get through the whole damn song. I'm not gonna lie. Russell Simmons rules apply when I listen to music a lot of times.
Yeah.
Like 30 seconds. Once you get past that, I'm like, okay. And I actually went through the whole song. I watched the whole video. Now, the fire. Now, that was the first time I've seen somebody have a live fire artist or whatever you want to call them in their video. How did you even secure that? Do you just know somebody that plays with fire?
Actually, no. The funny thing about that is when we was at the location shooting the video, the owner of the spot actually heard the song. He was all the way upstairs.
Yeah.
And it's like a warehouse. So he was all the way upstairs, and he came down, and he was like, whose song is that? You know, like, he was, like, really excited. And so they was like, oh, that's, you know, C-Snappa, this her song. He was like, oh, man, he's like, I do this cool fire thing, you know what I'm saying? He's like, would you mind if I put that in there? And I was like,
of course
let's
not, sir.
go. I'm like, let's go, you know what I'm saying?
So my production value.
Exactly. So it just added so much, like, different, you know what I'm saying? It was just something different to the video that I hadn't even thought about. But it was just like, I know that wasn't nothing but destiny, like how that came together.
It
definitely was dope.
I was like, oh, okay.
And I was nervous because he was like, yeah, I'm going to come up in front of you.
I saw that part. That was the next thing I was going to ask, because I was like, there was a point where he was like wrapped around you with the fire. So what was that like?
He just kind of like, he was like, you know, don't be nervous. He was like, you know, I'm just going to have you light it, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to, you know, swing from behind, you know, across you. Don't be nervous. So, like, lighting it, it was like, okay, because the way it ignited, it was like really instant. So I was like, I jumped a little bit, and I was like, I gotta cut that out. Make sure they don't see that. Like,
edit that part out.
Yeah, but it was like, he was dope. Like, he was really cool, laid back, and you know what I'm saying, for me, for somebody of, you know, a different race to hear your music and be just as excited about it, that really just made my day. I'm like, oh, that's dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? If he like it, I'm like, I'm on to something.
I'm on to something, man.
Definitely. So.
I'm always on dough. Niggas say they getting money, but they always broke. Fucking with Betty Crocker, but you ain't even got no dough. You hella funny, call you Joker. You mad cause your bitch be on my dick. She know that I'm the shit, and I'm always on point. That's why I poked her. Taught her how to get the money, yeah, I coached her. Then I sent her back to your ass and she broke it. Took you on the ride like a fucking roller coaster. She was in it for the thrill. You was fucking with a bitch, that ain't shit. Now your hands around a nigga like a choker. You been crippled so much in your life, you ain't even got a leg to stand on. Walk around with hands out like.
So you said you started out singing. Why rapping versus singing?
You know what? When I think it was, who was it? Cause I grew up listening to like the Queen Latifahs, the MC Lights, the Moni Loves, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then Brat came around and Shauna's, and then when Missy Elliott bust on the scene, that became like my idol. You know what I'm saying? Like when I tell you, I was like, man, because I seen somebody finally on the screen that looked like me, that I could relate to. You know what I'm saying? And back then, it was not very many artists. Like, even with Queen Latifah, she was another one that looked like me. You know what I'm saying? You know, in this game, you got to look and have a certain image, you know what I'm saying, for people to even pay you attention. And for me, I was like, nah, I'm trying to change the game. And so with Missy, she changed the game for me. So I was like, man, I'm going to learn how to rap. You know what I'm saying? So when I first started out, I was terrible. Like, I was horrible.
No, I saw the growth, because I ain't going to lie, I dug a little bit. And I went back. I don't know if it was the first video, but I know it was a couple of years old.
Yeah,
And I was like, okay,
it was.
I see some growth here.
It was bad. My big brother, Big Ed, he would always work with me, and he would just always tell me, like, you know, just keep practicing, keep going. Like, but he was one that he showed tough love. You know what I'm saying? So I would come to him, and I just know this dope. You know, and he'd be like, that's trash. And I'm like, for real, bro, like. But I felt like that made me better, you know what I'm saying, as an artist. And I wouldn't stop, you know what I'm saying, until I really perfected that craft. And so I just kept going. And then, like, with the whole fast rapping thing and, you know, Twister, I'm like, man.
Spitting on that joint. Oh.
That was something that I had to perfect, too, because what people don't understand is it's cool to fast rap, but you want people to understand what you're saying. So it's a lot of people out here doing it, but
you don't know.
You don't know what they saying.
That's
and so
the true definition of mumble rap.
Exactly.
Like, what? What did you say?
So I was like, nah. When I rap, I want to be as clear as Twista or Shauna. You know what I'm saying? Like, even Brad had that fast rap. You know what I'm saying? Ludacris was another one. You know what I'm saying? So all of these different people, you know, played a part in, you know what I'm saying, me wanting to get into that rap field, you know what I'm saying?
Now, I heard you say something about image and look earlier. Do you feel like it's more difficult for an artist such as yourself that doesn't really like try to sell sex, but more so lyricism? Do you feel like that creates maybe more of a stumbling block for you, or it makes it more difficult?
I you know what, I want to say yeah and no. Yes, because I've noticed artists like a Missy, you know what I'm saying? Like, when she first came out, she was more, you know what I'm saying, I don't really care about what people think. But now she getting more into that, you know, sexier side of her. And I don't know if it's more so the industry that makes you, you know what I'm saying, go that route. But me personally, I got into my mind like, well, if that's how the industry is, I ain't really, you know what I'm saying, I don't really want it, because I want to be able to be myself and even show young people, like, you know what I'm saying, you be yourself. Don't, you know, feel like you have to change who you are to fit in, basically. So I feel like that, but in the same sense, I don't, because at the end of the day, you can be who you are and change the whole game around. You know what I'm saying? So.
True. And then in the song, she say she be taking y'all niggas bitches in. I heard all that cash shit she was talking. You know what I'm saying? She out here hawking on that. So y'all better
crazy.
Watch out. I'm telling you.
You know, I went
she
through.
She all personable and swaggy and shit.
I went through so many images, though.
Really?
Like, literally, like, at one point in my career, I was doing the colorful mohawk, and I was doing the wild colors, and I'm telling you, like, I done went through so many different looks. Like, it got to the point people be like, what color you gonna do next? Because I was doing wild colors, like hot pink and purple, you know what I'm saying? Light blue and blonde. It was crazy. Like, I was trying everything. But as I got older, one of my friends was just like, you know what? You need to switch your swag up. You know what I'm saying? Get more on a grown woman level. You know what I'm saying? So now my swag is a whole lot different, you know what I'm saying, than what it was back then. But I like it more. And to be honest, it can be overwhelming sometimes, because you do get a lot of people like that's attracted to you. Like, now they looking like, oh wow, you know what I'm saying, you on a whole different level now. So yeah, it's wow.
It's wild. Do you ever get any back? Like, I was lit. I'm big on lyrical content, so I was listening to, like I said, that cash shit you be talking, and I like it. Talk your shit, I like it. But I know hella artists, and do you ever get backlash about your lyrics, like from, you know, maybe the pastor done heard the track, or your auntie Gladys done heard it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know when we was doing our thing back in the day, it was like, the first time my OG heard what I was, my cash shit, she was like, man, what the hell? Turn it off. I don't want to hear it. Or like the movie 773, when she was like, "Why y'all got to cuss so
Right,
much?
right,
Why
right.
did you kill this person? Why did this happen?" I'm like, "It's a movie."
Yeah. Backlash. In the beginning, when I first started out, like on the rap side, my mom was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? But as I got older and started making more, like even my music style has changed. So like now my music is more geared towards like messages, like storytelling. You know what I'm saying? Versus back in the day, I was really just like talking, you know what I'm saying, just man. But now, like every song that I make, it's telling a story, you know what I'm saying. Like even with How Many Won't, my last song was Wave, and that song I was telling a story. I got a song called Snakes. I'm telling, like, I'm more into storytelling now, and it might come off like, you know what I'm saying, like I'm just, but a lot of stuff that I'm talking about in those songs is probably something that I experienced, you know what I'm saying, like I done dealt with a lot, you know what I'm saying, so that's how I get mine out, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, that's my release. Like I get it out through music, and no, I've never really had any issues though about, you know, music.
You are blessed. that shit don't go like that.
You know what? What I've learned is the way I carry myself. Like I'm well respected around. Like anywhere I go, like if people be knowing me, I don't even know who they are, but they either heard of me or, you know what I'm saying. So it's a blessing because I carry myself, you know what I'm saying, in a manner to where I command respect and people give it to me, you know what I'm saying. So, you know, they understand, yeah, that's music, but at the same time, they respect me on a whole nother level because I'm not out here in the streets beefing with people, and if people got issues with me, it's probably something that they created, you know what I'm saying, because I don't do that. Like, the way I was raised,
it's one of those, to know me is to love me.
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
So,
yeah.
I mean, I feel it. A lot of times when people be like, man, I can't stand rock, probably because,
right.
You know what I'm saying, because it's not like you just coming out of nowhere with it. So if you press that button,
exactly,
you know,
exactly.
Does that ever get weird? I heard you mention like people knowing you, but you not knowing them. I know for me, I call it like fishbowl.
Yeah.
It's like living in a fishbowl.
Yeah.
Everybody out, they know exactly who you are, and they studying everything you do, and you like, who the fuck is that?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Does that ever get weird?
A little bit, cause you know I just feel like I'm just, you know,
you
right,
still you.
right. It's like I'm just, you know what I'm saying, regular old me, but it do feel weird, cause it's like, man, this is, you know, it's cool, but at the same time it's just like
It's a little bit unsettling.
Yeah,
sometimes.
it's like,
wow, man, this many people watching.
Exactly. Like... So I can definitely always appreciate, you know, any love that I receive, because it's hard to get it now.
True.
You know what I'm saying? There's so much hate in the world. So when I do find genuine people that really rock with me, like, I really keep that near and dear to my heart, because that's really hard to find.
Absolutely. Now, coming out of Gary, you got the Jacksons, you got Mariah Carey, and countless artists, legendary artists have come out of Gary. Do you ever feel pressure to measure up to the musical, history
right.
coming out of Gary?
You know what? No.
No?
I really don't. I feel like I'm at that level, honestly. I feel like it's just hard because of the city that I'm in. You know what I'm saying? If you like think about a lot of the artists that you name, they left. You know what I'm saying? They left, and that's how they, you know, got on.
Back there.
Right, you know what I'm saying? But they, you know, they got up out of there, and I think ultimately, that's my biggest thing. Like, I'm on my way out of there anyway, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like when I get to my next destination, that's when, you know what I'm saying, it's all gonna come full circle.
Now, I was reading your bio, and you like me, you do pretty much everything. Like, there's nothing. I know why I did it, because I got tired of people telling me no. I got tired of waiting, and I was like, you know what? If I learn how to do this myself, I won't have to wait. I won't have to ask, and honestly, I can make them pay me to do it now.
Exactly.
So what was your motivation behind learning all of those things?
The exact same thing.
Really?
Like, honestly, I got I used to get artwork done, you know, by other people, and sometimes I know how I want it done, and you know, you try to convey that to somebody, and it just still don't come out how you want it. So I got to the point where I was like, you know what, I got to learn how to do this. You know what I'm saying? So I had a buddy back in the day that he had actually went to school for it.
Okay.
And I told him, like, I want to learn how to do, you know, like graphics and stuff like that. And so he sat me down and showed me a few things, and I kind of like just took off from there. You know what I'm saying? Like, the first people to actually give me an opportunity to try graphics on them was Side Effects, Psychodrama, and Entertain. They literally like was like had me doing all their flyer work, and I did they mixtape covers. They even let me host one of their mixtapes for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I started getting off into DJing, you know, they really was very influential in my career. You know what I'm saying? Side and Noya, they like I got mad respect for them because they took chances on me when nobody else was. Like, when nobody really thinking about, like, I don't want that amateur. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they kept working with me, so
That's what's up. You need people like that.
Oh, yeah.
I remember when I was first started in radio, one of the first interviews I got was from Cold Hard.
Oh,
And he
yeah.
constantly, every time I saw him, it was always love. If I wanted him on the show, he'd come and be on the show.
That's dope.
Hey, bro, I need a drop. All right, what you want me to say?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You going to put that sauce to it, and you going to send it back, or he come to the studio and record it.
That's dope.
So I do understand, like, keeping those relationships
Oh, yeah.
and genuine people around you.
Most definitely.
Now, one of your other jobs at per the water around her neck, because the drip is real. You the CEO. Now you got artists. Tell me how you came about building a relationship and then doing business with the Trap Girls.
So maybe about 2 years ago, it's been now. When I first met them, they came out to one of my showcases because I, you know, promote as well. So, me and my partner at the time, we was throwing a showcase, and she was like, "Yeah, I got this group that's coming in, you know, performing tonight." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. Sure, I want you to check them out." So I'm like, "Okay, cool." So they came in, and they performed. After they performed, they came over to the DJ booth because I was DJing that night, and they introduced themselves. So I'm like, okay, cool. So they was, you know, just giving me a little bit about themselves and stuff like that. So I say maybe about the second show, I saw them again. By this show, we got to talking, me and Cole One. We talked, and she was telling me about different things they trying to, you know, get done. So I'm like, yeah, you know, I shoot videos, you know, I do this, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, I manage as well, you know, and she was like, really? And I'm like, yeah. So maybe about a couple weeks went by, and then Cole One ended up coming to me asking me about management, and so I was like immediately like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because I already seen the potential in them, you know what I'm saying? At that time, they was like really getting out there, starting together as a group. So, but I'm like, I seen the potential, you know what I'm saying? So I was like definitely down. And so once she found out that I had my own label, they was like, oh, well,
We with you.
Right.
Put us on the team,
and
coach.
that's it, you know what I'm saying? So that's from there we kind of developed. You know, our relationship really grew stronger. I ended up shooting their first video for them, Whipping, and that video did really well. And then from there, it was just like
Snowball effect.
right. But they was already moving. You know what I'm saying? Before I even came in the picture, because the first time I met them, they actually was airing on Power 92 that same night. You know, Shondell had them, so I'm like. This is cool, you know what I'm saying? I think they, you know, both two talented young ladies, and I really feel like they could really go far, you know. That's the end thing now, you know.
That's what's happening. I ain't mad at you at all. We all face issues, I'll say, when we on our journeys, wherever we trying to go. What has been the biggest hurdle for you so far in this music journey?
Trying to help everybody. You know, that has backfired on me so many times. Cause it's just my heart. You know, I wanna help everybody any way that I can. Cause when I was coming in the game, my mom didn't know much about the music business.
Right.
She was just like, here, if you need whatever money you need, I got you. You know what I'm saying? My brother, he had some knowledge, but I wasn't afforded a lot of opportunities like some people were, you know. So I always said, like, when I learned how to do the graphics and the videos and stuff like that, I'm like, man, I want to reach back and help other people because nobody was doing that for me. You know what I'm saying? I had to really get it, you know what I'm saying, out the mud. So, but it backfired on me a lot, you know what I'm saying? But I took those L's and I turned them into lessons, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, it is what it is. It's not going to change my heart. I just know how to approach a situation next time, you know what I'm saying? So.
Now, I always do this when music artists come in. Who is your top 3 collaborations in hip hop that you would like to do, and then your top 3 non-hip hop artist collaborations?
Okay. Hip hop.
They could be dead or alive. It don't matter.
Okay. Well, I would say honestly, like I was in love with Biggie and Tupac, as far as music wise go. You know what I'm saying? So they was always gonna be, boom. Yeah. And you know what, Jay-Z, honestly, I feel like he cold with it. Yeah. He cold with it. That's like a stamp. You know, but
I mean, at this point, it's Jay.
Yeah, exactly. You know. Exactly. Yeah. As far as non-hip hop, when you say non-hip hop,
I mean, whatever. If you want to do a song with a tap dancer, or what's the name? You know, you might want to do. God rest his soul. You might have wanted to Gregory Hines or somebody. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to
or
think.
You know, Nelly does a lot of country records now, country hip hop records with Garth Brooks and other people. So it's like that's a different type of collaboration. Even when back in the day, Run DMC and Aerosmith.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was cold.
And a lot of magic happens from those type of collaborations.
That is a good question. I'm trying to think.
We got the. We used to
got
have
me stumped.
I'm gonna put the thing.
Right.
You
got me stumped. You see, but let's be clear. Before I even say anything else, Missy Elliott is always like.
Yeah, I kind of figured that goes without saying.
Period.
As
you know what I'm saying? So when you say if I could do a feature, you know what I'm saying? Like, Missy, come get me already. She's like, nah. Quit playing. But I'm trying to think. See, I listen to a lot of gospel music too. Okay. So I always wanted to do something with Kirk Franklin. You know what I'm saying? He just had that. Talented. He's got that energy. Like, he'll get you hyped. Yeah. And Fred Hammond was another one. And Patti LaBelle.
Patti. I mean, you can't go wrong with Patti. You ain't gonna get no objections from me. Patti.
That's.
Unless you talking about my dear Auntie Gladys. It's not my real auntie.
You know what?
She treated me like she was my auntie, and that lady was so nice to me, and she didn't have to be.
Gladys is definitely dope too. She is definitely dope too. Yes.
No, I say that because I had an artist on a couple of weeks ago who didn't know who Gladys Knight was, and I wanted to kick him off the show. Like,
yeah, you gotta kind of go behind that. Like, if you don't know old school, let's be clear, old school music is. I still listen to that.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying?
Barbecue music,
right?
I gotta have it.
I tell people all the time, like, my friends used to laugh at me because I get in the car and I put my old school music on. They like, we don't want to hear this. I'm like, you in here, you gonna listen to this, cause
I'm listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yes,
you know
man.
Okay, so what is something besides entertainment that you would like to do or, expand into lately?
Outside of entertainment, I always wanted to start up my own like youth center. When I was maybe about it probably had to be like maybe 5 years now, but I used to work for the Boys and Girls Club out in Indianapolis.
Okay.
And I was actually the teen director there. And what was crazy was because when I first came in, I came in as a teen coordinator for a summer program,
Okay.
and I was only supposed to be there for that summer. And when they interviewed me, everything I told them that I wanted to do that summer, I did it. I was telling them I want to teach the kids about graphic design and studio engineering and stuff like that. And they was like, how you going to do all this in one summer? I was like, trust me, I got it. And after that summer, I was the only one that didn't have to interview to come back. And I literally worked my way up from team coordinator to team director. By the time I left, I was still in team director, but they was trying to get me into a program director's position, which was, like big time. So, but while I was out there, I got to really change my club around. Like when I came in, they wasn't really doing a lot. And so I took over like the basketball team. We would get money in for the kids every year, and I would take that money and I would, I bought them new uniforms and, just tried to
just reinvest in them.
Exactly, in them, and I even started like a little candy store for them, so that way they can, make money. Exactly, you know what I'm saying? So I told my boss down there, I was like, I want to put a studio in the club. Now, none of the clubs out there had a studio. He was all for it. So we ended up putting a studio in there. And by the end, before I left, they contacted the club saying that State Farm wanted to do an interview on somebody in the clubs that was into music, and everybody was immediately like Miss CC. You know what I'm saying? So I got to meet Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco. Okay. He was the one that actually did my interview. And he hung out with us for the whole day. He didn't want to leave. Like, we sat and we talked together, and he really, like, inspired me, like, for real. And he was just like, I love what you're doing here. You know what I'm saying? I had started a step team down there. It was literally, I did, you know what I'm saying? Anything anything that I felt like them kids would be interested in, I was out for it. And I was going to the head bosses like, we need to make this happen. You know what I'm saying? So, at one point in Gary, I had a teen club. I had opened a teen club, and I ran it for like 4 years. You know what I'm saying? So kids has always been my passion. You know what I'm saying? So if I could do anything at this point, it would definitely that. Yeah.
That's dope. That's real dope. Because a lot of people say a lot of selfish shit when they get on these platforms. You know what I'm saying? Which, I mean, to each their own,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
But for me, it's like our kids we losing them to the streets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what hurt my heart, because it's like, if we can provide something for these kids to do, they wouldn't have no choice. But, you know what I'm saying? Trust me, I believe they would rather be in some place like that than to be on the streets. But some of them feel like ain't nothing else to do.
Yeah. It's funny you say that. When I was younger, at our elementary school, we had the East Side High. Everything was made out of steel and shit. It was broken, crack valves and shit everywhere.
Yeah.
But the only safe haven was the basketball courts. But instead of improving on that, they decided to cut the budget and take the rims down and just leave the backboards up.
Oh, wow.
Saying that they didn't want the gang activity to continue and all, but what ended up happening was it got worse.
Yeah.
Because now the kids that did want to just hoop, now they ain't got no choice but to go stand over there with them. And the kids that used to use the basketball court as a way to, you know what, I don't want to stand with y'all right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over here.
Exactly.
They took that option away. So
I
understand what you're saying.
Yeah. They need it.
Yeah,
they need it.
They do. What is something about you that maybe the general public does not know, like a favorite food or a favorite sports car or celebrity crush? Everybody has one of those. If you say Missy,
no, it's not.
It's not Missy. Okay, I was gonna say
It's not Missy.
Made a clean sweep up in this motherfucker.
You know what? I'm gonna say a fun fact. I ain't gonna say fun fact, but something that people probably don't know, which they should know. But I'm very, very active in my church.
Okay.
I believe
That's
that,
dope.
you know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
dope.
I play drums. I sing in the choir. Sometimes I have to direct. You know what I'm saying? But I'm very, when it comes down to my church family, I'm very active in my church.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's something people don't know. That like when they found out about me. But I ran a video ministry at the
Okay.
church, so
Yeah. That's dope.
That's how I reached out to the kids. Shout out to the late great Dr. Finney for putting me in that position. Like, no, I need you here. We got kids.
Yeah.
You strong man. And sure enough, it was like once they saw what went into it, it was like it went from no kids in service to as soon as I walk in, it's 15 kids hop up like meerkats. Like, all right, we going up to the video studio. It's like
you'll be amazed. Like a few weeks ago, my church, Allen Chapel CME Church is where I belong to, but we went out on a walk. Basically, we walked the community. We did this for a month straight with my pastor.
Okay.
And we was going from door to door, and a lot of the young people that saw me, that knew me, they like, you know, like, it kind of like, what, well, like, so come on out to church, you know what I'm saying? But I could tell, like, they felt comfortable because they saw a familiar face, you know what I'm saying? A lot of kids don't really want to go to church because they don't know nobody. It's like, I ain't going to that church, you know what I'm saying?
All these people, it looks stiff. I don't want to go with a stiff set.
Exactly. So my church is real, it's like young people oriented. Like, it's a lot of young people in my church.
Yeah, I feel like it has to be because that's the only way you're going to grow
Exactly.
That's the only way you're going to grow it. It's funny you say that, though. Segue, it leads me into asking this. Like, how do you maintain the balance, especially spiritually, when you make what some would call secular music, but you're still heavily involved in the church?
Yeah, you know what? What's funny is we was just talking about that not too long ago, and I just feel like at the end of the day, just in this, and I'll just say in this year alone, I've seen God work in my life. You know what I'm saying? And I know, people be like, oh, you can't talk about that. You can't. Ooh, well, like, I feel like at the end of the day, I know who the head of my life. I can't tell nobody, you know what I'm saying, who to believe in, what to believe in. But at the end of the day, for me, you know what I'm saying, that's just how it is. And I just feel like I done seen him work in my life. You know, I literally went from, like, losing everything and gaining so much more. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's why I always give God praise, even in whatever they want to call mess, or even when, you know what I'm saying, they feel like, oh, you singing secular music, you can't be, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, my relationship with God is my relationship with God, you know what I'm saying? Just like yours is and whoever else. So, the only person that can judge me is God. You know what I'm saying?
I
So,
tell people all the time, ain't no bunk beds in heaven.
Exactly.
Like, man, your path to heaven and my path to heaven might be two totally different paths.
Mm-hmm.
But if you know, you know. And
Exactly.
In the book, in the good book, it's like, the people you think gonna be up there probably ain't there. And the people you said ain't no way in hell they got in. They up there chilling.
Yeah.
So
and what people gotta realize is, too, in your life, you gonna go through different tests, trials, tribulations. You know what I'm saying? You never know. This could be, my step within that journey. You know what I'm saying? So, I tell people, like, tread lightly when you judging people, because you don't know, like, where people are in their life. You know what I'm saying? And just when people be up and they, get to looking down, like, you gotta be careful because them tables turn. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always treat people, with respect. And it's been crazy because it's been people that have disrespected me, and I still show them respect. And my friends be like, what is you doing? Like, clapping? Ooh, for what?
Right.
For what? What's the purpose?
My character and
Exactly.
rearrange my energy. I don't really need that. Whatever's supposed to happen is gonna happen. And karma is about.
Oh yeah, and the crazy part about that is, I've seen situations where I could have, I should have, you know what I'm saying, but I didn't, and I seen how God started to really work in my life. You know what I'm saying? So at one point it was like, I went through a situation years ago and I reacted how I shouldn't have. And I seen how things played out. So I said, Lord, I know if that situation ever come again, I know what to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And sure enough, it came again, you know. And it was like being tested with the same test again. Let me see how you handle it this time. And I just handled it totally different. And I just started seeing things taking off. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, all right, okay, you're ready now.
Mm-hmm.
You can have it now.
Exactly.
Because people, I know people always like, man, why do you feel like you should have blew up when you was younger? And at first I used to say yeah.
Yeah.
But then I thought about it like, probably not.
Probably not, right?
If I would have got, you know what I'm saying? If I would have got everything at 18, 19, 20,
boy,
man, the level of fuckery and
real talk.
You know what I'm saying?
For real, that's real.
I probably would have pissed it all away.
Yeah.
As to where now it's like I'm more seasoned, so I understand what I'm doing. I understand my purpose, so I'm not just gonna be flying by the seat of my pants, going with the wind with everything and everybody.
Yep, that's real. That is real.
I definitely understand you on that. It's been a good conversation.
Yes.
I told her when she walked in, the first thing I said, "Who wants to smoke?" That's my new joint right now.
This
like,
probably one of the most interesting interviews I've had, because most people, like, they ask questions, but they be like real on the surface. You know what I'm saying? So like,
I try not to do that. In school, oddly enough, is why one of my internships.
Okay.
I used to work at WVON.
Okay.
Talk radio station.
Yeah.
So there is no music.
Ain't no music.
Really, you know, but I got to work under people, legendary Cliff Kelly. You know, people that are just mainstays in that genre, especially black excellence, political, anything. You know what I'm saying, dealing with that. And I got to hear how they really, really felt about like music stations and the conversations and interviews that they had. And Cliff Kelly say, because I didn't want to work at VON. I was trying to get to GCI.
Yeah.
And Cliff was like, you here because you were supposed to be here, because you know how to do this. And he was like, I watched you do that interview. Yeah. That's not water cooler talk.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
He's like, oh, that's what we call them fake ass interviews they be giving on the music station.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
He was just like, it could be deeper, like, because I feel like the whole purpose of the interview is to get people to see you interact in a manner that they wouldn't be able to do just from a music video.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if we don't ask the right questions, then the people won't know any of the answers.
That's
and they
real.
won't feel more connected to you or me or the show or anything. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
So I just try to stay as authentic as possible. That don't always work out. There's been times to where, I mean, honestly, like, people feel like I disrespected them because I asked the question.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, I try to tell people all the time, if this is what you present to the world, and you come on platforms and you expect to be bulletproof,
exactly.
you a fool.
That's real. That's real.
You gotta be able to, you gotta be able to handle whatever questions that come. And
I've been asked some.
I'm sure.
So I'm like enjoying this interview, because like you said, it's allowing people to kind of get a deeper side of me as well, like, than what they see on the surface. So.
You're right, because nobody would know that you did all that work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, with the Boys and Girls Club. Nobody would know how community oriented you are. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like just as well as the talents that we might have, we also need to show the other side to those things as well, and talk about the grind of it all. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I you know what? I kind of struggle and battle sometimes within myself with, like, because I'm not like really a flashy person, like broadcasting. Oh, I got a you know, I'm out in, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people just go laugh for everything, and some things I'll just be like, you know, if people see me out doing it, then it was meant for them to see me. But I ain't never really big on like, let me show off, and you know, cause like some people have show off spirits. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I just never had that. I've never had that.
Barbara get into it with me all the time. You don't post enough. You don't do this.
Yeah.
You know, I post with I like stuff like this. I do pictures.
Yeah.
I'm gonna post those.
Exactly.
I might go live if it was something a hot button topic, and I gotta talk about it right then.
Exactly.
But as far as like, hey, I'm brushing my teeth.
Right.
I have 8,000 selfies. Like I
just don't have time. The way my life is set up, I don't have time for that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's just, you know what? I think this social media era has like literally like disrupted life as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Because like what I'm learning is people feel like they have to be a certain way because of social media. And if I don't get on here and post today, then you know what I'm saying? Like, exactly. And for me, when I don't get on there, people like, when they do see me, they like, what you been on? I ain't seen you on Facebook. So that's how you dictate what my moves like.
Like, you know that's not a real place.
Exactly.
None of this shit exists for real. Like, people and I saw a meme as I was on my phone when y'all first walked in, and I was literally looking at a meme that said back when the internet first started, it was a break from reality, and now reality is a break from the internet.
That's real.
So
that's real.
It's a powerful tool, but it's also a dangerous.
Yeah, it's very dangerous. And I've seen people destroy people's lives from Facebook, and that's why I kind of got away from it as much. And then the way my life is, I'm too busy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't. I don't have the time to even. If I get on there, it's literally to see. Like, I'll probably scroll for a minute, and then back to work. You know what I'm saying? So.
You know, especially doing what we like in all the different facets in which just me and you do. We don't. There's no time.
It's not.
To post. I really do feel like that. If you got time to post everything you're doing something wrong.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You're doing it wrong.
I be forgetting to post stuff. Like, I just came back from my homecoming this past weekend. Yeah. I didn't post anything. I was too busy like kicking it. Like I ain't literally. I don't even think I took very many pictures while I was gone. It was like. I'm like, oh man, I see my story. I'm like, dang, I ain't even take no pictures. I was too busy kicking it. Like,
go have the best time ever. Don't take pictures.
Didn't take not. I probably took maybe 2 pictures, and
that was just at the beginning. And then when somebody was like, we should take one picture.
Exactly. Like, I was like, okay, and I don't even know what the picture say. Like, so, but I mean, some things I just be like, man, everybody don't need to know my business. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? If I'm out of town. Why do you gotta know that? And like,
if I do tell you I'm out of town, it's probably when I'm back.
Right.
If I tell you I was somewhere, I'm already gone. Like I just, because I seen too much crazy shit.
Yeah, it's real. It's real.
But yeah, man, I ain't gonna hold you. I definitely enjoyed this. Come back and do it again.
Most definitely.
Reconnect.
Oh yeah.
Anytime.
I'm definitely down.
But as we do for all guests who come on the scene, we got a nice shirt for you and a COVID mask. And you got to keep it protected.
Oh, yeah. Indeed. You know and I'm definitely going to rock this. This is nice.
Make sure you tag us.
I sure will. I'm going to tag y'all and everything. Absolutely. I really enjoyed this interview. Thank you all for having me.
Rob Lee, C-Snappa. Who Wants to Smoke? Go check that out. Check out all the old stuff, the new stuff, and all the stuff to come. We've been on the scene. We'll see you guys when you watch the next one, because it's on demand. See y'all later.
Smoke. How many niggas won't smoke? I don't really think you won't smoke. Cause you'll fuck around and get choked. Fuck around with the goat. Bro. How many niggas won't smoke? How many niggas won't smoke?